At first, I'd like to ask all of you, especially the English native speaker, for a little patience with me. You know, I'm just a guy from Austria. If you close your eyes and listen to me speak, you'll think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger talking. I mean, of course, yeah, he's Austrian too, and of course, if you open your eyes, you'll see that it's not half of him out here. Well, I'm a librarian like you, pretending that my muscles are inside the brains. So I'd like to welcome you to this very special evening, which is, as we've heard, the IGeLU meeting closing event, systems seminar opening, for librarians, and especially for systems librarians. Life is so much easier with a consistent software partner. I mean, let's be honest, before we started buying ex-libris products, we were standing in front of an abyss. Yeah, and today we're one big step further. Yeah, I mean, choosing a reliable software partner is a little bit like getting married. At first you sign contracts, and afterwards the whole thing can go into production. I mean, marriage, some say, is the founding of the Society for Conflict Studies. That might be true. With Ex Libris, this society has got the name Pivotal. Or maybe also Documentation Center. But we, as systems librarians, administrators who are in the business for quite some time, we do know that knowledge-based items, manuals, are only written for the purpose of making the users believe that they are the problem. Well, I mean, not with us. Yeah. Of course, maybe sometimes it would be good if a systems librarian would read more documentation. Remember when you hit the wrong key the last time and first thought, oh no, I'm afraid I've deleted the internet. Before you happily found out it was only the journal holdings of your library. I was invited to say something about everything, so where do I start? Maybe I start with the very beginning. Psychologists used to divide people into alpha animals and beta animals. But of course there are also alphabet animals, like for instance, librarians. They're a specific kind of type. You know why I wanted to become a librarian? I mean, it's easy to guess, yeah? Because of Casanova. That's true, he was librarian as well. That's really true. I mean, I thought I'd chat up girls in the stacks, show them the way to the reproduction room. But I had it all mixed up. Yeah? I mean, forgot that there's no talking in the reading rooms. And only later learned that Casanova turned to librarianship when he was too weak for women. So, well, instead of reading books to girls on their beds, I started walking through the woods, thinking about Christ. I mean, if he was a carpenter, I wondered how much he charged for bookshelves. Some years later, I got to know a girl. She asked me about my profession. I said, I'm working for a consortium, as you might have heard. And she answered, oh, a consortium of banks or other companies? I said, no, it's a consortium of libraries. Oh. Libraries? She looked at me and said, well, career isn't everything in life, is it? But, I mean, librarians, they're not only alphabet animals, they're also number animals, with their love for classification. Let's take, for instance, the Dewey Decimal System. You know, it's funny, I've thought for years that the reason why the DDC numbers are so long is because you find them in a very specific way. You take the different blocks of the ISBN, multiply them by each other, and then divide the result by the number of pages of the book. It was only later that I learned you get them merely by accident. So, but anyway, I'm happy that I work for research libraries. If I work for public libraries, then people will come to me ordering titles like 10 in a Bed, Play With Me, Wait Until Helen Comes. And I would never know, are those children books or home DVDs? What is in and out and up and down? Yeah, it's a children's book. Anyway, have you heard about the love life of librarians? Do they have one? Yeah. They found out the truth about the love life of female librarians, about the men of their dreams. Do you want to know? Maybe yes? Okay. For most female librarians, Mr. Right is friendly, intelligent, sensitive. He's about 1.80 meters tall, and he weighs about 90 kilograms. And he consists of pure milk chocolate. It's not true? They found it out, I don't know. So anyway, sometimes you do need chocolate. Work doesn't kill you, as it said. That's true, but it does make you tired. No, in the morning it delights you with the melody of life. And then you have got to fight your bosses all day long. Okay, a boss nowadays tends to behave like a real good friend. But like a real good friend who's always right. Well, and if you thought that the head of a department heads a department, you might also think that a forklift lifts folks. When organizations are tricky, have you heard of the most common division of labor? If you know how to do it, you do it. If you don't know how to do it, you teach it. Okay, computers are one of the biggest inventions of mankind. I mean, besides steam engine, clockwork, reclosable chocolate wrapping. Computers are great machines, wonders of innovation, impressive demonstration of mankind's longing for progress. And what haven't computers brought to us? Neck pain, typewriter scrap, eye problems. I mean, meanwhile every third is a little Stevie Wonder. I just got to say, I can't read that. But anyway, you have to pray in order not to have too many problems with the computer. I notice it in the morning. When I come to office, after booting, automatically 3 new software updates are installed. I can start the day with a 10-minute break, let's say. Afterwards, I want to type in some notes into a Word file. When I'm forced by this moronic paperclip to write a letter instead. I mean, I could also update my Office version anyway, yeah. But when I try to download my mail messages, the system prompts me, in order to enhance security standards, to type in a new password. Okay, I look for a more unusual word. Excuses if I'm getting a little bit vulgar right now. I do know that there are also men in the audience. So I type in a new password, penis. What does it write back? Your password is too short. these are the days when you get to know the difference between a computer and a man. Really, computer don't need anger to get blue in the face. Oh no, it has crashed. Completely gone with the Windows. But fortunately for these cases, we do have IT support. It's those people who help wherever they can, as long as you don't expect them to be nice. I've always wanted to become part of IT support. At first I was impressed. I thought they would be really cool guys. I was impressed that they always treat you a little bit like you were calling from the past. What did you say is the current version of your web browser? 3.4.5.1? I mean, 4 days ago, 3.4.5.2 was launched. So would you carefully decide on a soon upgrade to the current software version, or would you also eat a month-old sausage? And then I thought that they'd be really cool with women. Maybe you know it better, but anyway. I thought it at that time. So, like here, yeah, new staff member is calling a lady saying she needs a systems ID. The IT superhero is taking care of her. No worries, it's Boris. I'll get you off. The IT systems ID is automatically generated by the systems. All we need for you from input is your age, color of your hair, body measurements, and your marriage status. If the data sounds promising, the IT superhero switches over to chat-up mode. Honey pie! Your systems ID will be ready by noon. And as this seems to be a really urgent matter, I better take care of it personally. So, are you able to lunch? Are you able to go? Let's go to lunch. Well, and at the end of the lunch break, the IT superhero says goodbye to his new sweetheart with the words, "So, think about tonight, sweet mousie. I've got a really exquisite mouse beard at home. And though I'm normally not the kind of guy who's into one-night stands for you, I could make an exception." But I mean, you know it. In reality, they are totally different. IT freaks, yeah? I mean, they have the charisma and the aura of a, let's say, Ninja Turtle action figure.
Could be worse.
If you say to one of them, "Hey, you're sitting behind the computer," in front of the computer, is it in English? "You're sitting in front of the computer the whole day long. Don't you want to have a taste of real life?" He will most probably answer, "Sure. Where can I download it?" That's the way they like it. Hiding behind their monitors from the three biggest enemies of IT support: sun, fresh air, and the horrible shouting of the birds. And that's why they run around the whole day long with this intensive screen suntan, which differs from the paleness of a dead body only because of the red ears. And I mean, with ears like that, you won't pick up any girl. But no doubt, with the IT experts, lots of things have come into the world which we all are using every day. Let's say, for example, the internet. I mean, we are librarians, you can't deceive us easily. Yeah, we have seen the microfiche come and go. We have experienced the death of the card catalog. So, who is going to guarantee that the internet will stay? Although it looks a little bit like it at the moment. Well, search engines are important on the internet, but maybe you don't need the plural at this point. Google is important on the internet. So what have been the 3 most common search terms on Google in 2010? And that's now really true. I mean, everything I tell you is really true, but this is especially true. So, the 3 most common search terms on Google, anybody knows? So the first one is YouTube. Well, television without ads, that sounds really perfect. The second one was Facebook. Well, obviously people are fond of losing faces. And the third most common search term on Google 2010 was weather. It looks like most people are simply too lazy to get up from the computer, put away the curtains, and have a look at what is going on outside. Well, there has been a lot of talk about libraries during the IGeLU meeting, about the changes in libraries. I've been attending conferences like this for almost 20 years, and for almost 20 years, everybody has kept talking about the future of libraries. Why is it always the future? I mean, is there nothing interesting happening in the present? It's a little bit like going out for a drink and speaking the whole evening about how bad tomorrow morning will be. Everybody talking about the changes in libraries, nothing will stay the same. I mean, what has stayed the same during the last 20 years have been the presentation titles. They're all starting with Quo Vadis, which is Latin and means where do you go? Where do we go in cataloging? Where do we go in acquisitions? Where do we go for lunch? I'm happy that there has not been too much verbiage, or maybe there has, I don't know, about this during IGeLU meeting, because I think you can sum up the whole thing into just one sentence. It's difficult to make predictions, especially about the future. But ex-libris does know this. That's the reason why they don't make predictions, they just make proposals. So what are the hot topics nowadays in libraries? Maybe let's start with the everlasting but unsatisfying love of every librarian, which is... I want to hear this from you. Cataloging. True. Cataloging. Let's talk about cataloging. I'm amazed that there is so much talking about rules over there. Because following my observation, there are only 2 different rules in cataloging. First one, never miss a coffee break. True. Second one, never accept a bibliographic record which has been made by any other cataloger. So yeah, there are so many different programs, and we try to bring together those different rules, like ARCR2, RAC, now coming up RDA, accompanied by all these different standards, Mark 21, Unimark, even MAP, XML. Yet I'm sure, if we eventually manage to bring together all those different rules and standards into just one worldwide system of rules in about 27 years from today, this will be exactly the time when we are discovered by the Martians and need to harmonize with those extraterrestrial rules for another 50 years. But speaking about cataloging, maybe everything will get much simpler, we do not know. I have a dream that one day this world will stand up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We don't need so many elements of metadata. I have a dream that one day there will be no longer a distinction between 3rd and 4th author. I have a dream that one day we will all be able to manage to simplify things when there will only be 3 data elements. Creator, title, and Alma identification number. Which set of elements we will be calling Dublin Hardcore. I have a dream today. But anyway, speaking of catalogs, metadata, well, I know, program has got itself, so, program up again. I was afraid I would have the same fate like the circulation Klien and Alf version 20. I would crash, so, no, I made it. Okay, we've invested lots of time to make, let's say, call number 2, a search option for our patrons. We've invested lots of money to have a state-of-the-art search engine, modern user interface, but still, it's not possible to search for the most important attribute of the book, which is its color. That's it. Now just remember how often somebody comes to the information desk and says, what do you need? You need a title. Well, I think it was something with electronic waves, but I do know that the book was glaring red. So can you help me, please? So another hot topic nowadays is e-books. But are we sure that there are enough e-trees available to produce all this e-paper? Okay, it was a joke, so... another hot topic nowadays is digitization. Turning books into 1 and 0, as you might also say. Following that, librarians are already fully digitized. Because among them, there are lots of #1 guys, but also a good deal of zeros. I was visiting a library of our consortium not long ago when a colleague was showing me around. I asked him, and how many people are working here? You know what he answered? About half. Any applause is welcome, by the way. Thank you so much. Another hot topic nowadays, digitization, security in library buildings. Well, it's not really a software topic, but anyway. Have you ever been afraid when walking through your library? Certainly not Hans, who's a friend of mine. You can't scare him. He has worked in circulation. But it is true, libraries do attract a lot of strange people. And I'm not speaking primarily of the employees. I am speaking of homeless, junkies, psychotic. Hans told me about a guy who came to the circulation desk and said, "Do you have any books on suicide?" You know what he answered? "I know you. Get lost. You'll never bring it back." Of course, you can't say things like that in real life. I mean, libraries are service providers. By the way, do you know how you find out? You are working for a service provider when you start every second email with the words, "Thank you very much for your complaint." We have some victims over there. If you don't like to do so, you better work for a company where customers are always wrong. Maybe try policeman. But when you're working for a service provider, you have always must be friendly all the time. Like on the phone, Hello, my name is Harold Wittelbrink Baxenstock. I am your Senior Information Manager and I'm truly fond of being your personal idiot today. To lower embarrassment, you could also automate phone pickup like here. Hello, this is the Library of International Brudelbrunft Studies. For information on our collections, please dial 2. For advice on the web open, please dial 4. If you believe in a life after death, please dial 9. And for hearing the lottery numbers of next week, please hang up now. But you have to be friendly also when you write patron letters, even where you need to be stringent with your patrons. So maybe you do it in a more friendly way than you do it at the moment. Let's say, write your patron letters as little correspondence cards with some flowers outside, inside a text saying, roses are red, violets are blue. We're sorry you're sick, but your book's overdue. Of course, you can also start additional initiatives to promote your library. In Austria, we arranged a library hotties calendar. Of course, you don't believe me, I have a feeling. Of course, girls and boys were invited not to be totally naked. In order to feel themselves more comfortable, they were invited to get off all their clothes except for one single item. So they kept on their glasses. But we had to stop selling this calendar when people started donating second-hand clothes. So the software business is not easy. Software companies do exist which can afford to deliver perfected software. I've heard, but I don't know if it's on this world. And when Microsoft has started the trend to deliver banana software, software that ripens with the customer. But even that way you won't be able to eliminate all software bugs. It simply would take too much time. It's truly a problem. I mean, a physician can bury his mistakes. An architect can at least put on IV. But I mean, a software programmer, all he can do is ask colleagues from support. That's not a bug, but a feature. IGeLU's products do have a good sense of humor. We like it. For instance, if something goes wrong on the web open, a page appears saying the requested file could not be found on the server. Please contact your systems librarian, inform him of the problem. Which is a funny message in case you are the systems librarian. But they do have a lot of agile developers, we have heard. In fact, they're much more agile than we are. The reason why we lost the last football game. Maybe tomorrow will be better. But, yeah, please. But anyway, as IGeLU is operating from Israel, we do believe that they will be able to lead us to the promised land. Let's hope the desert will not take too long. It was 40 years in the desert. For those who read the book. No matter if print or ebook. Yeah, but let's hope the way through the desert is not too long. The way to the dessert is very short. Dessert, I think, will come right now. So thank you everybody for listening.